Today is World Whale Day, so let's talk about some whale Pokemon. First up is our original whale Pokemon. This is Whalmer, and it's an obligate carnivore, meaning that it has to eat either animals or, in our case, other Pokemon. Its prey base consists of some microscopic organisms like krill, but also some larger vertebrates like wishiwashi. And if we look at its teeth, this kind of looks like baleen, which are the comb-like tooth structures of baleen whales. So these are your whales that are going to be gulping in large amounts of water, filtering out, and then ingesting the krill and other small, tiny microscopic organisms that they feed on. Since Whalmer also eats wishiwashi, it's kind of a combination of those baleen whales and toothed whales. So think of things like beluga whales and those sorts of things, which have normal actual teeth and they catch fish. Whalmer probably swims extremely slow. It has no tail fin or any kind of dorsal structure. It just relies on these little guys. So it's probably just kind of bouncing around and floating and slowly swimming through some waters in hopes that it runs into big schools of fish that can't avoid it. It then evolves into Whalmer, which is one of the largest Pokemon, and somehow gains all of these extra fins and a tail. Whale Pokemon, besides being related to other whale-like Pokemon, are also related to Pokemon that have 4 legs. Think like Miltank and Hippopotas. Those are some of its closest relatives. So that's where these come in. This is the front leg, this is the back leg, and they've evolved to be fins since this is entirely aquatic, except for when it's floating around like a blimp. And then just like real whales, its tail is actually a modified tail. So Wailord probably has to travel faster through the water. Maybe this goes on huge migrations just like modern day whales do, thanks to its much larger and better evolved propulsion system. And Wailord still has baleen in its mouth, so it's feeding on microscopic things and things like krill and shrimp, but also probably some wishiwashi, since this is a mixture of our two groups of whales. And Wailord's closest relative is the land whale Pokemon Cetitan. These probably diverged from our other fully aquatic whale Pokemon somewhere around 50 million years ago, if they're real life animal whale evolution. And this represents an amphibian form. This is clearly somewhat terrestrial. We find it on mountaintops, and it has well-developed legs, but then it also has these flipper arms. So this is still able to maneuver quite well in the water, and it has this huge tail which is going to help move it forward. So think of something more like a penguin, how maybe this comes onto land to nest, but it's really more at home in the water. It has these large crushing teeth. This is actually its mouth, and I think this might be a Bergmite specialist so that it can crack open those hard shells with its really weird looking mouth. And these might have evolved in shallow coastal waters and then eventually got pushed up to the mountains because of human settlement or something like that. Have fun celebrating World Whale Day. Remember to thank your local whales.